Shopify helps you sell at every stage of your business. Like that, let's put it online and see what happens stage.
And the site is live.
That we opened a store and need a fast checkout stage.
Thanks. You're all set.
That count it up and ship it around the globe stage.
This one's going to Thailand.
And that, wait, did we just hit 1 million orders stage? Whatever your stage, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/listen.
Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. I always like to start with something interesting, and I read a research report the other day. And even though most of us are heading back into the office, a group in the UK put 36 folks split evenly between men and women, showcasing either their best grin or a poker face. Now, those faces were then digitally placed onto 6 different settings. It was a cozy living room, the same room but blurred, a bookcase behind them, or maybe they had plants, just a plain wall. And then for some fun, they put a walrus in ice. So what they wanted to see is whether or not which background would be great for a Zoom call. And then would people find them more trustworthy on, say, a bookcase or plants or maybe even the walrus? So what they found is that if you're framed by books or plants, you are really trustworthy. And if you're wondering whether to smile or stay serious on that Zoom call, you're definitely going to want to go with that grin because, again, you are just more trustworthy. Which reminds me, why can't you ever trust an atom? You ready for this? Because they make up everything. Oh, that was a great one. Hey, listen, I'm Kim Commando, your digital goddess, here with you once again, and you're about ready to get more tech smarts because every single thing is now a tech thing. And if you're a brand new listener to the Kim Commando Show, a welcome aboard. We're glad to have you with us. And if you're already a listener, hey, welcome back. And you can find my award-winning show on over 420 top radio stations across the United States. And we're streaming in your favorite radio app. Just search for my last name, Commando. And you can find us as a podcast, a webcast, commercial-free. Just hit commando.com and then just hit that button that says community. And yes, I did say commercial-free. Now, if you're listening on the radio, we love that. Just a reminder, you can get Kim Commando Today as a podcast Monday through Friday, wherever you get your podcast. Just search for Commando with a K, of course. And I know that you have at least a few questions about something digital I can lend a hand to. And that's why our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And if you're just too shy to come on a big-time national radio show, I get that. You can always drop me your question over at commando.com. There's a button there that says Email Kim, and that's where that magic happens. All right, every single day I check out at least 30 different websites to make sure that we're both up to date on all things digital. And here are 5 things that you need to know about tech. It's happening right now. And we're going to start with football. Yes, you know what that means. Yes, fantasy rosters. And here's something that's going to make it a little bit easier. Artificial intelligence. Yes, AI. Here's what's going down. The NFL and Amazon are partnering for what they're calling next-gen stats. And inside each NFL stadium, they set up these ultra-wideband receivers and RFID tags in players' shoulder pads so that this way they can collect just a ton of data in real time. So let's say you're building out your ultimate fantasy team. You can see detailed data on how close a defender got to the quarterback or how quickly a running back maneuvered through a defense. So how do you use this? Just head over to the Next Gen Stats game landing page. That's nextgenstats.nfl.com. And then they have all this interactive graphics and breakdown plays. And oh, by the way, on Amazon Prime, if you're watching those football games, you can actually watch a game with stats showing on each and every player. It's pretty amazing if you haven't seen that. All right, number 2, the cost of cloning a person's voice. How much do you think? $1,000, $500, $50? You ready? Try $4. That's it. And you only need about a minute or so the person speaking to do it. So think about all the phone calls that will send you into a total panic. I'm talking about a family member was in an accident or just diagnosed with a terminal illness. And your neighbor's crying that your dog was hit by a car. The auto repair shop tells you not to drive your car. There's been a major recall. The kids' teacher's call that says, hey, we need to send the kids home because of a gas leak. You know, the whole drill, IRS agents. So how do you know that they're scams? Just remember $4. That's all it takes to clone a voice. Wow, crazy, isn't it? And here's the deal. If anyone asks you for money, they usually want gift cards or using a Cash App. That is a big red flag. All right, moving on to number 3 on our list of 5 things. Can baby boomers save the television networks? Now, it wasn't that long ago that with the arrival of autumn, America looked forward to this new fall TV season, but streaming actually ended all of that. In fact, the 3 networks are all up for sale right now, but they have one last hope, the boomers. Now, it's not that boomers don't stream, they do, but they're still watching traditional TV more than anyone else. So even though Disney is about to sell ABC, the network is making a last-ditch play for boomers. It's called The Golden Bachelor, and the main contestant, 72 years old. 22 women between the ages of 60 to 75 are just vying for his affection. If that's not enough, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. Sunday night, ABC is going to bring back 3 hours of Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color. Now, the only thing left is for CBS to bring back Ed Sullivan. And let me tell you, with AI, it's not impossible. Moving on to number 4, I want you to make sure that when you're shopping online that you're truly paying attention, because websites are popping up like crazy that look exactly like top quality clothing stores, but they're going to steal your identity and your credit card numbers. The scammers are operating websites that mimic the real sites of, say, Reebok, New Balance, Nike, Adidas, Timberland, the North Face, Fossil, Kate Spade, Casio, just anybody on this list. And they're so detailed, and they show you the latest fashions. And so you select what you want, and then you check out, but you never receive anything except a credit card bill. And of course, now the thieves have your credit card number, your shipping address, your email address, phone number, the whole shebango. So before you buy any product online, just make sure that you're on the genuine, real website of whatever you want to buy. And just because Google leads you there does not mean that it's legit. And finally, this coming in at number 5, iPhone 15 Pros. Yes, the orders are now taking a record of 50 days to fulfill on average worldwide. And overall, iPhone 15 sales are up 10% compared to those of the iPhone 14 in the first weeks. But here's the deal. If you have your eyes on the latest Apple phone, I want you to hold onto your wallets, because a lot of early users are spotting some hiccups. Like the top tier iPhone 15 seems to get really hot and toasty in just a few minutes. And that sleek titanium case, it's not staying pristine. It's playing magnet to skin oils and then discoloring. Durability, yeah, a tad bit of flex, and bam, the back glass of some units is going kaput. And heads up, there's also a big glitch on the iPhone's iOS 17 software. So if you snagged one, I want you to make sure that you hit that update ASAP. So is the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, are they duds? The jury's still out, but if you are tempted to splurge, what I want you to do is maybe give Apple a hot minute, a week or two to just smooth things out.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
All right, let's see who we should start with today. How about Chris in beautiful Denver, Colorado? Hello there, Chris.
I own a small computer business that repairs broken Apple laptops, and then I sell them in a store on eBay. I spend a lot of time testing the fixed computers to make sure that they're reliable and high quality. So this allows me to keep hundreds of computers out of the landfill and make a living at the same time.
Awesome.
My question has to do with how to better promote my store. So how can I draw someone who's looking to buy a high-quality used laptop to my store, someone who is perhaps not already looking through the eBay listings one by one? I'm kind of having a hard time putting myself in a potential customer's shoes. Do people these days Google used laptop and how do they find? Do they go straight to Facebook Marketplace? Do they ask around on social media? Where do they look, and how can I attract them to my eBay store?
These are all great questions. So how are you promoting your eBay store right now, Chris?
Right now, I just rely on eBay's internal advertisement.
Okay.
Nothing else.
So, so would you consider yourself an Apple expert? Yes, right?
Yes.
Okay, 100%. And that's the key, is that you want to establish yourself as a trustworthy brand. Because anytime that you talk about used computers, this, is that you don't know what you're getting, right? I mean,
exactly.
And the worst thing you can do is go on Craigslist and buy somebody's used junk, and because it's just going to be a complete nightmare. And you can buy used goods on Amazon and other places. But if this were my business, Chris, I would showcase my ability in order to disseminate information and to set myself up as the expert in buying a used Apple laptop. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that I would do that is maybe participating in maybe some Reddit subgroups, some Facebook groups, and start doing an Instagram, maybe, with an image once a day or once every 2 days or 3 days about, here are some things that you need to look out for when you're buying a used Apple notebook. Here are some things that you want to make sure that you do before you actually sell or get rid of your Apple laptop. I mean, that because I'm sure you get, and there's personal confidential stuff on these computers and you're like, dude, wow.
Oh yeah. I mean, I erase it immediately as soon as I get a broken one and it's fixed. That's erased. Yeah. But you're right. Do you think that somebody would actually see that on a Facebook page or Instagram?
Well, it takes time. I would also encourage you to do a TikTok channel, YouTube, and to do just some quick 1-minute videos. And they don't have to be like 5 things you need to know before you buy a used laptop. It could just be one thing. The biggest mistake that people make when they buy, the biggest mistake when people sell, the biggest mistake when that what's going to happen to our landfills, and what are the materials inside? How long should an Apple laptop really last? Think of all the questions that you get asked. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, you have Craigslist. You have Facebook Marketplace. You could also, start looking at inside your local community in Denver. Maybe doing like a once a month, at a local coffee shop. 5 tips to using your laptop a little bit better. And so a lot of this goes out where you're going to start engaging people with your brand, and you are establishing the credibility, and you need to come up with a good shtick, Chris. Okay, you can't be this guy who's just standing there in a nerd shirt, with your company logo on it. Maybe you're the nerdy guy in the Hawaiian shirt, and so you become memorable. Maybe you do a little dance in the beginning, or you do a dance at the end. Because people want to be informed, but they also want to be entertained. I mean, you've only been listening to the show for a while, so where the heck have you been? Number one. Number two is that I don't know if you've ever heard me call myself the digital goddess. Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
That is a shtick. Okay. Do you think I go to a dinner party and say, "Hello, nice to meet you. I'm the digital goddess"? No, I don't do that at all. It's a moniker. It's to kind of make fun of myself, but to also say, I know what the heck I'm talking about. So, with your eBay store, make sure that you have precise descriptive titles, high-res images, feedback. I'm sure you have a great rating. Use social media. Maybe you do some before and after photos of the laptops. This is what it looked like before. This is what it looked like I got after. And you start getting into the communities. Google's the number 1 search site. YouTube's also number 2. Okay. So how to buy a used laptop, how to erase my data on a used laptop. And, you may need to buy some Google ads, Facebook ads in order to make sure that you do make sure that you're also getting your word out there. Set yourself up on Google with your business. That's really important. And there, make sure you have your phone number. And I cannot stress to you enough that you need to do email marketing.
Okay.
Where you have at least a monthly, bi-weekly newsletter that you're sending out to anybody who has purchased anything from you in the past, anybody who's interested in getting more information, because that's where you can say, refer to me, somebody to buy a laptop, and I'll give you a $20 gift card to Amazon. So you have all these different trigger points and all these different levers that you can pull. And I just threw a whole bunch at you.
Yeah. The newsletters I've been thinking about But it seems counterproductive because people usually only buy one laptop and then they don't want to know about future offers, right?
But if you were giving me continuous knowledge, continuous information, and if there was an incentive for me to refer somebody, and especially if you were just a nice guy, I can tell you're a nice guy, Chris. I can, and that I would want to help you.
Yeah.
So that's really where the interest comes in email marketing and also collaboration with other businesses. So I want you to think about all this. And, I'm an entrepreneur. I started my own business. I have no debt. I have no investors. I'm not part of any big Westwood One, Premier, iHeart, nothing. It's just me, and we have a fabulous team here. And so if I can help your business, I really, really want to. So think about everything that I just said. And then I'm sure you're going to have some questions afterwards. And then just give me a call back and we'll take it to the next level. By the way, that email newsletter, just look at MailChimp or Constant Contact. MailChimp, they actually have a better deal on a free platform. So you might want to start there first. And Chris, best of luck to you again. If I can help you, just give me a call back. Yeah, it's not easy starting a business and then trying to figure out how to market it online. And first you need a website and then you got all the social media. But I will tell you one tool that I've been using with great success for our social media, and it's called later.com. There's also Hootsuite and Buffer. But what this allows you to do is to actually schedule your social media posts. So you don't have to say, I got to go on Twitter and Facebook and Pinterest and, goes on and on and on. Is that from this one dashboard, you can manage and post and see exactly what's happening across all your social media. There's a cost, of course, but again, there's Buffer, Hootsuite, and later.com. And speaking of money, let's talk about how you can earn cash on the side with surveys. I know a lot of you have been asking me about this recently. Now, sorry to tell you, but online surveys, they usually pay just a few cents to a few dollars. So you're not going to be getting rich doing this. But the good news is that you can take a lot of these surveys when you're doing other things, like just sitting on the couch and, chilling with Netflix. Now, one popular survey site is called Survey Junkie. To get started, just sign up for an account, you fill out your profile, you take surveys for cash or points redeemable for gift cards or PayPal cash. Now, the amount earned, like I said, isn't big, but it can add up. Another one is called Branded Surveys. It asks for your feedback and opinions on products and services. Pretty much the same as Survey Junkie in that you collect points. And then finally, there's Swag Bucks. That's one that over 20 million people use. In exchange for taking surveys, you earn rewards. And I will tell you, if an app or a site promises riches for taking surveys, it's a total scam. While we're on the subject of small businesses, imagine that you own a small bakery and you want to let everyone know about a new pumpkin spice cupcake that you have. But you don't have big money for snazzy Facebook ads. No problem. You can email all your customers for free. With all the hoopla about social media marketing, here's the secret. This email marketing is just a powerful tool because people who subscribe to your email, they want to know what you are offering. And with email marketing, open rates are really important. You want an open rate, say 40% or better. Sometimes the open rate on our newsletters, honest to gosh, is like 75%. That's just crazy high. But here are a few tips to get started. Number one, you always want to personalize your emails if you can. Put the recipient's name in the subject line because that increases the chances that they're going to open the email. And always do A and B testing. You can send your email with different subjects to see which one gives you a higher rate. And then what days of the week? Send your email on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Those days have the highest open rates. The weekends, everyone's out having fun. All right, back to the phones we go with Joan in Indianapolis. Hello there, Joan.
Well, I first of all want to thank you for taking my call and to thank you for sharing your wisdom.
You're sweet. Thank you.
Greatly appreciate it. So here's my question. I'm a landlord, and I'm looking for an easy way to check criminal backgrounds, and financial status of my applicants, and I wondered if you had something that you would recommend.
Well, how are you doing this now?
Right now, I have them fill out an application, and I take it to the local sheriff's department, and they give me that information, but it's just for our local county. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know, if they move out of the county, who knows what's going on. Yeah. And then the other thing is that I can accept a Zillow application, but because I do advertise on Zillow, mm-hmm. But in order to read the results, I have to provide them my Social Security number, my information. And I didn't know if that was safe or not. So I'm just wondering what you think about that.
It's always that question. Well, let's talk about some ways that you can just do a background check, and then we'll talk about the whole Zillow.
Okay.
So what you can do is that the big credit companies like Experian, they have something called Connect. And this way you can purchase and view credit reports. And obviously you're going to need their permission to do this and in the application.
Right, of course.
TransUnion has a similar thing called Smart Move.
Okay.
And Zillow, as you know, with the rental manager, is that they have a tenant screening tool as well. And the whole reason to get your Social Security number is to make sure that there's not going to be a bot, or maybe it's going to be tied to something with some IRS reporting. So there's reason to do that. And it's always cautious. You're like, oh, my Social Security number, I better not give this out. If it's a legitimate company and you're on a legitimate site and you see that lock in the browser URL, and you just didn't click a link out of nowhere that just popped in your mailbox, then I know it feels icky, but it's probably going to be okay.
Okay.
It's, because I experienced this myself. I wanted to renew my global entry card. And of course, they ask for everything when you're doing that. It's like,
right.
Yes. Here's a piece of my hair. Here's some DNA, my mother's maiden name, and it's like, and we all sit there and cringe. But if you feel confident that you are in the right place, then I think it would probably be okay. So those are the places where you would get the background check. Now, criminal history, that's probably something else, like you said. You take it down to the sheriff's office, but you can do a nationwide background check on several websites. There's employment verifications. But I think, taking a look at this Experian Connect and the TransUnion Smart Move, as well as, don't forget about your gut. A lot of people forget about that. It's like, does it feel right? Does everything check, all the boxes? And now, is this person from the military? They're moving in, but and then all of a sudden it just starts feeling pretty scammy, because that's the whole shtick that they're all trying to use right now, pretending to be from the military, and they have to move and they need 3 months free or whatever, the whole thing is. Have you experienced any of those type of scams?
No, I haven't.
That's good.
No, I've been pretty lucky, but I just want to make sure that I'm not putting myself out there.
Yeah, and that's always a concern. It is, because we always want to hold that Social Security number close to our vest. And in reality, we probably as a nation need to come up with some other type of ID other than a Social Security number, because let's just face it, they're all just for sale right now. Mine too, yours too, Joan, right there on the dark web. And they're really not selling for very much. And that's why it's super important that we always keep track of our credit, and we freeze our credit. And we go ahead and put alerts on our bank accounts if there's unauthorized access, or if somebody tries to make a charge on a credit card over $50 and the credit card isn't on the premise. And you start paying attention to all these different alerts. And I know it's a major hassle. It is. It's just a pain in the butt, because I get them too. But we do need to just make sure that our whole identity does stay safe. Joan, thank you so much for your call today. All right, so you look at your PC and Mac, you notice that the webcam light is on. You're like, oh, what's going on? Okay, how do you know if it's been hacked? Number one, the light is on even when you're not using it. It should only come on when the camera's in use. Maybe you see some weird icons or unfamiliar programs just pop up on your desktop or in your files. Maybe friends start receiving weird messages or emails from you. And finally, you start seeing some browser extensions that you didn't install yourself. Well, hackers use them to access your webcam. And one clear sign is if the light turns on whenever you open your browser.
Tax day is coming.
Oh, no.
But if you sign up for Robinhood Gold's IRA with a 3% match, you can get up to $195 for the 2023 tax year.
Oh, yeah.
Sign up at Robinhood.com/boost by tax day to get the biggest contribution match on the market. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Robinhood Financial, LLC, member SIPC.
Let's see. Josie in San Antonio, Texas.
Yes, I was calling because I have a little side hustle where I do taxes, and I kind of wanted your recommendation on some good tax software to use because I wanted to where it will store the data and where I can, once I pull it up the next year, everything is most of the stuff is pre-populated and I can, expound on it in advance for every year for those particular clients.
Every year you don't want to start from scratch? Come on, Josie. Come on.
So I'm looking to the guru for some recommendations.
How many clients do you have?
Right now it's maybe about 5 or 6. It's not a whole lot.
Okay. All right. Because some of these, when you start talking about doing people's taxes, and some of these programs online, they start at $1,500, $2,000. And so that's why I was not sure if we want to go quite there yet. But you will get there. I know you will, Josie. I just know you will.
Well, it's just a little side hustle. So I'm not, I'm not trying to stress myself out about that.
Well, what you're looking for is something that is cloud-based, obviously.
Right.
And it has all the forms. And like you said, it's going to use the data from last year to auto-populate this coming year where you can click on a client. Probably one of the best ones out there is actually from Intuit, QuickBooks.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And it's called Intuit Pro Connect Tax Online. And it's subscription-based pricing, but typically it's actually pretty inexpensive. It's about $20 per return. And
okay. That's not too bad.
But everything's going to be out there. But what you can do is pass that charge along, right? I mean, you're a business owner,
right?
And you need to make money, and we want you to make money. Okay, so what I would do is for my particular clients, if I were doing taxes, which I would never want to do taxes. You must be a lot of fun at parties, Josie. Are you a lot of fun at parties?
Well, I'm an accountant, so that's kind of like an extension of that. I work with numbers all the time, so why not just take it into extracurricular stuff too,
Yeah, that's true. I always make fun of my accountant because I'm like, you're just a real party animal. I can tell.
I know, right? You can tell, right? Yes.
So, there he is.
What are those nerds? What are those nerds? What are those numbers nerds?
But I'll tell you, you guys are so smart. I mean, your brain operates on a completely different level than mine. It does. I mean, I'm just I don't know how you do it. How you keep a track of all the different tax codes, the changes.
Right. Same as you. You get into it. Like with IT. You become the guru as you enjoy it, so you get into it. You always want to know the latest and the greatest.
But you can understand tax code. I don't know how you do that. I mean,
yes, it's classes.
And you can compare it to last year's and what's coming up this year. And you have patience of a saint because you deal with the government. It's nuts.
Yes, that is something in itself.
So don't discount your abilities is what I'm saying.
Okay, thank you.
So you try this Intuit, the Pro Connect Tax Online, and we have, there's other companies out there like Drake Tax, but I really think that's probably going to be the best one for you. Now, while you're looking at Intuit, Pro Series is another level. But those base packages start like $400. So when you get more clients, you're probably going to want to go that way. But while you're signing up, just know they're probably going to try to upsell you to Pro Series. So make sure that's something that if you do need it, you get it. But if not, just stick with the base level. And Josie, thank you for your call. Let's see. Next, Mort in Tacoma, Washington.
Hi, Kim. This is a great pleasure and an honor. I really never expected to in my whole life to hear from a celebrity, but I did, and so this is exciting.
Oh, well, thank you, Mort. What's going on?
Well, I'm an old codger. I'm 81, and I'm used to the good old music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and maybe even some of the 90s. And I have a large collection of CDs that have all these old songs on. And several years ago, I attempted to rip and burn several of these old music onto my iPhone. And it worked, and I have probably, at one point, I had a couple of hundred. Now I have 100. Somehow or another, they get lost in the ether. I think they disappear up into heaven. But anyway, I wanted to re-download the songs, and I couldn't remember the techniques. I went online, and nothing really was clear for me to understand. And I thought, well, I'd ask you because I read your newsletter, and I really glean a lot of great information out of it.
Well, thank you. So, but one question more. What's a CD?
A CD is an old music disc.
I know. I'm just teasing you.
Oh, okay. No, hey, I remember when I used to have DVDs. Before that, I had VHS. I had all of that old stuff, 8-track.
Oh, God. Remember 8? Yeah, 8. My sister used to have 8-track. I remember I used to get in her car. She had a Barracuda. She's 11 years older than me, and I remember getting in and her putting in like an 8-track of, oh, gosh, I don't know, probably Bruce Springsteen because we were from New Jersey, something like that.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I'm going to send you all the steps because the worst thing we can do is talk about step by step on how to do this. But do you have a Mac or you have Windows?
I have Mac.
Okay.
Everything I have is Apple.
Okay, that makes life a lot easier because you're just going to use the music app. And then when you put it in there, an option's going to pop up if you want to import the CD. And then what you're going to do is sync that music, which now we can do on iCloud. You're going to sync that music to your phone.
Oh, great.
So we're not going to sit there and go, can we get a cord over here, folks? No, we don't need to do that anymore. We're just going to sync it on the cloud. And then of course, you're going to have your music on your iPhone and all that other good stuff. So out of all your CDs, which one is your favorite?
Well, I like the music from the 60s. I graduated high school in 1960 in Miami, Florida, and they had great memories. Those were the best years, I think, that were. And then I went to medical school in San Francisco, also in the 60s, and I lived right near the Haight-Ashbury. I was never a hippie, but just a lot of great memories.
Well, and that's interesting because I was recently reading, I don't know where or what, but they were talking about how our fondest music is our high school years. And that's also why when we start looking at classic cars that we might want, is that it's the car that we couldn't get in high school, that we wanted. And maybe there was that rich kid in school who got that car and you're like, dang, how come I had to get like an old truck, or whatever it was. So.
You're right. Well, I was fortunate. I got one of the first 64 and a half Mustangs when I was at the University of Florida. And I had that for several years. I loved it. Absolutely loved the car.
You know what? I have a 64 and a half Mustang.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Maybe we're related. I bet we're related.
Maybe it was your car. No. Maybe that's it.
It was white with a black top.
No, mine is blue with a black top and red pinstriping.
Oh, wow.
And
that is beautiful.
You know what? It is. It is. I love that car. And I don't know. Obviously, that was not my high school car, but I just think it's just a fabulous, beautiful piece of art, really. And what's also so cool, Mort, is that when I'm driving around with the top down, everybody smiles. Yeah, everybody, you get a thumbs up. Everybody, it's like I also have a 1946 Chevy pickup truck. That's also pretty cool. And that thing, I think I walk faster than that truck, but it's okay. So,
it was fun.
So, lovely Amber is going to send you over the steps via email right now on how to rip the CDs. And if you need any help afterwards, Mort, just give me a call. I'm always here for you. So many great questions today. I love hearing from you guys and gals. And don't forget, you can always drop me your questions on the website. Head over to commando.com. That's with a K, of course. And in the Upper right-hand corner, there's a big old link that says Email Kim. I read every single note that you send me there. It's my honor and my pleasure. Keylogging programs record all the keys that you press when you're just typing away, and criminals plop them on devices to steal your info. Now, here are a few ways you can find out if you've been infected with one. Now, keyloggers can be used by IT departments to track and monitor employee activity. Parents use them to keep tabs on what the kids are doing. But for thieves and snoops, they're just a tool to spy on you and steal your data. Now, what's worse is that they are really hard to spot sometimes, but it's not impossible. Here's what you can do. First, check your computer for any unfamiliar programs. If you don't recognize the name of something installed on your computer, just do a quick search on Google to figure out what the heck that is. Next, check your phone. If the battery life has taken a total downturn, that's a telltale sign that, it's infected with something. Look for surprises like unexpected charges on your bill and apps that you didn't install. Now, to get rid of a keylogger, it's best to use a solid anti-malware program. We have links to the best ones over at commando.com. Once again, that's commando.com. Now, do me a huge favor. Would you please tell 3 friends and family members about the Kim Komando Show and the Kim Komando Today podcast, because everyone needs more tech smarts, right? And knowledge is power.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
Now for just $1.99, enjoy the Sonic Quarter Pound Double Cheeseburger. Because we value just as much as we value tasty burgers, we decided to shrink the price of this melty fan favorite. You still get 2 perfectly seasoned all-beef patties, 2 slices of melty American cheese, and all the fixins on a soft, fluffy bun. And you get to save some cash for dessert. In finance, they call that one heck of a deal. $1.99 Sonic Quarter Pound Double Cheeseburger. Limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
At Planet Fitness, Leap Day means an extra day of energy. And who doesn't love energy? To celebrate, now through February 29th, you can join for 29 cents down, $10 a month, and pay nothing until March 17th. Even better, you'll get free fitness training and equipment for every workout, with most clubs open 24 hours. So take advantage of your extra day and get energized at Planet Fitness. Join for 29 cents down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and pay nothing until March 17th. Deal ends February 29th. See Home Club for details.